Hey, everybody. So excited today to share with you a person that is absolutely having so much success here with Partner Co. She's a six-figure earner, very healthy six-figure earner with the company, and so excited for what her and her team is doing. But I'll share with you that it didn't start that way. Um, I'm going to introduce you to Miss Summer Simons, but before I do, I want to tell you we've been in business together for 15 years. 15 years. Summer is a mother of two amazing kids, and she actually grew up in the industry of network marketing, understands the industry. And 15 years ago, she joined me and absolutely came out of the gate and crushed the business, made a lot of income with our company. And then I always say this, I actually said this morning, you know, success is tough. A lot of times it's an uphill battle, right? Trying to go uphill. And so you got to have intentional you got to build it with intention, and you got to have a purpose behind it. And along the way, Summer has never missed a check in 15 years in network marketing, but life kind of took her away. It took her away. Just some challenges, some heartaches, some things that happened. And I share that with you because everybody looks at her today and she's having success and she's a six-figure earner with our company. But a year and a half ago, I found her in a very much a valley of working four jobs, drawing a residual income with our industry, our company, but it wasn't enough to provide for her and her two kids. She is a single wage earner for her family. And when we started using the skinny drops, the hormone balancing drops, and we started creating the system and people started making checks, I went and met with Summer, and I knew she was working four jobs. And I went and met with her and I showed her what people were doing, making two posts a day, and what they were doing, and the type of money they were making. And Summer said, I'm in. And over the last year and a half, I have watched her absolutely reinvent herself with this industry. She has come back more powerful than she ever was. And I'm so proud of her for what she's done. But not only that, she's been able to decrease and now move all of those four jobs down to just Partner Co. And I'm watching her now get to travel the world with her babies and do amazing things. I'm going to Bali with her in just a few weeks. And so, Summer, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm so excited. I want you to share, but I just wanted to share where we started and kind of the hills and the valleys we've come through. And I could not be more excited for you and what you've done.
Somehow I managed to listen to that and not cry this morning because he's right. When Brent showed up at a Jack's in North Alabama, I was very overwhelmed and exhausted. But he took out that little yellow notebook and he drew on it, and my jaw just hit the table. I was like, this is the best thing I have ever seen. And I realized then this is something very doable. It was something that I could use with other single mothers who were busy. They can work it into their schedule. And having grown up in the industry, I knew what to look for, but you just don't really find it. The last thing we did together was great. It was great money compared to everything else, but it doesn't hold a candle to what we've got our hands on right now, not even close. And there are times I still pinch myself going, how is this my life? Like going to Bali, when I Googled how far away that was, I was like, oh, that's a long flight to, be traveling around the world. But where else would a single mom get to do that? Not happening.
Hey, Summer, do you remember when we were sitting there and I was sharing with you the potential of two posts a day, what it could turn into? You first of all, you didn't believe me. I mean, let's make that very clear. But then secondly, you were like, so I could actually be at my boys' ball games. Like I could do this. So the dream started to come into play of this could be something as long as I have my phone with me, I can make time to do this. And share with everybody what that meant to you as a single mom raising two little kids, two little boys, what that meant to you to be able to do that.
It was literally that. So when I was working 4 jobs, I had to show up somewhere. If I didn't show up, I didn't get paid, and a lot of what I was doing was manual labor. Well, when you're a single parent and you don't have help with sitters and all that, you're going to the ball games, you're going to the practices, you gotta be at home, to cook and feed them. I didn't want them in daycare all the time. So I could sit in my chair at the ball game, whether it was practice or an actual game, I'd make my post, and then I would just work with the comments, the people asking questions. I would send my messages, and the amount of feedback that was coming into my phone was, I mean, almost a little overwhelming because I realized this product was really something people needed. I was kind of like, just, maybe we'll see if this works. I had no idea. Like, most of us cannot fathom how well this is going to work in our lives if we work it. Has it been a perfect ride? No. Brent told me I've had to go to school and, learn a lot of stuff just to get better and be more consistent. But man, the reward has been so worth it.
Well, Summer, I said today on a call before this call, I said most people have uphill hopes and downhill habits. It's like we've got to work through the hard. And one thing, you did that, you created something really special. But let's talk about the team. Like, I think about Hill and Diane Blue, a couple that's been in network marketing forever, like for years and years, and never made any real money. They grabbed a hold of this system, and they actually replaced their retirement income that had been taken away from them. Talking about a struggle, right? And they replaced it
Mhm.
here with Partner Co. and using our system. But share with us some of the other, like you've been able to really help a lot of men and women grab a hold of this system and create out of the gate success.
Well, it's funny you bring up Hill and Diane because I had flipped a house with them in between all of this network marketing. Hill graduated high school with my dad, and I knew they had lost retirement. Well, one of my jobs a couple of years ago was remodeling. I had to bring Hill in to help me because I injured myself and couldn't do it. The second time I needed him to come back, he couldn't really because his drop business was too busy. And I'm like, really? But the amount of money they've replaced was more than what they lost, and they just went to Punta Cana with me, like, for his 71st birthday. So stinking cool. And in the last company, they didn't make I mean, I can't even say it's a fraction of what they made here last year. Another one of my dear friends came into the last company. She had a huge learning curve, put her into her profession now, and this last year she made more than what most people make on their full-time job part-time. And when they went to do her taxes, she looked at her husband, told him what she made, and he was like, "You what?" I mean, they both work full-time jobs, their home is paid for. So what if you were making another full-time income on the side outside your full-time job? That changes everything. You have options, and the stories just keep pouring in. I mean, I have people in their 20s up to their 80s. People who did old school network marketing with my parents are coming here, who've watched me grow up in the industry, and they're going, "Summer, we've never seen this kind of money." And then the product, just hands down, is changing people's lives.
Well, what I love is not only have you changed your life, and what I love is having the purpose of, and I remember your two boys sitting at a super Saturday as we were learning the system, and you're like, this is why I'm doing this. I'm doing it for those two guys. And you've done it. But now it's moved into other people. And now you're training an army of people how to leverage this system and create this income and to start to dream again. And so, congratulations to everything that you've done and are doing, and the future growth that you and your team are experiencing and will experience. But I just want to, last parting words. What would you say to someone that's looking right now? They're not in Partner Co. They're looking, and what would you say, like this system that we have in our hands with the system of growth? What would you tell that person?
So I would say if my 10-year-old little boy can do what we're doing, anybody can. Guys, it is the most simple, duplicatable thing I've ever seen in my life. I was a school teacher, okay? I had an elementary degree, but I've taught pretty much every grade there is to teach some sort of course. And if you can just get in and learn as you go, it's super simple. It's copy and paste. And if I can do it in my car while we're riding somewhere, if I can do it while I'm waiting at the restaurant and then put my phone down and enjoy time with my family, if I can do it standing in line at theme parks, which I did last year and I created a reel from it, guys, we literally can do this from anywhere and it's given us options. My kids get to go all the time and we're having a blast. It's for everybody. It truly is for everybody.
Summer, congratulations. Congratulations for what you're doing and what you're doing for those two boys. I know that's your purpose and that's your intention, and congratulations to your team. Thanks for being on today.
Thank you.